Hi, and welcome to Movies with My Mother. I, of course, am Lexi.
And I'm Mom Lori.
And today we watched John Carpenter's The Thing
Yeah, we did.
from 1982. It was a rated R movie for obvious reasons.
I saw no penises, god darn it.
Oh, well.
I want to watch an R-rated movie. I want to see something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, it was all that blood, wasn't it?
we'll remember that for next time. It was
Okay.
an hour and 49 minutes long and obviously directed by John Carpenter.
Lord, it was a long movie.
It was a little long, but I think it needed to be that long. I think it needed to build
Yep.
that fear, that tension,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
mistrust.
Yes.
It got an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes
Oh,
and a 57 on Metascore
hmm.
and an 8.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Not surprised at all.
No.
This is a movie that people that go to movies like to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the time it was cutting edge effects.
Yes.
Um
Uh,
and Kurt Russell was hot, and this came out around some real blockbusters. Um, it came out with Blade Runner,
Oh.
and it came out on the heels of ET,
Oh.
and that is why it suffered at the box office
Yes.
because the estimated budget was about $15 million,
I'm not surprised.
and all I could find was North American gross was $19.9 million. Like, I couldn't find all I could see that said worldwide gross was this 19.9 figure. But
Oh,
then somewhere else was like this was only the North American totals.
right.
So I don't know.
And you know what? I didn't look at all at anything about the movie this week. Nothing. So I don't have anything to add.
Okay. The basic plot is that a research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims.
Well, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty gross when it wasn't a shapeshifter, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those effects were done by Rob Bottin. This was like his first big movie, and he got a little bit of help from Stan Winston, and Stan Winston refused screen credit because he wanted Rob Bottin to really shine.
nice. And he did.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking back, that would have been top-notch special effects.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I saw a few movies in the 80s, but yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah. The shape shifting, the morphing. Yeah.
Yeah. Those tentacles
Yeah.
when that guy's head ran off. Oh my goodness.
All that slime.
Oh, that was the worst part.
Like, could you imagine if that were a real body? The goddamn smell.
Oh no.
Oh
I can't even
my
imagine.
god.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ugh. Ooh, and what about when that guy's chest opens up?
Oh, that scared the dew out of me. When it clamped down on that guy's arms. Oh, oh my.
Now, this, of course, is a Justin movie,
Yes.
and I know he kind of struck out last week with Men at Work. But how do you feel he did on this one?
Wow. Although it's not at all my kind of movie, it was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. I'm
I
glad you
think
like
so.
it.
I think so. I mean, everything that I thought it would be, it was.
Okay, I don't know if that's good or bad.
I thought it would be bloody and gory, and it is bloody and gory.
Yeah, but I don't think it was gratuitous.
Oh no, 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 no. No. Far, far from that. It was that's If the thing was after us, that's exactly what it would look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it was cool when they go to the Norwegian camp and the dead guy is like and the dead guy that had sliced his arms and his throat up, and the blood was just like frozen
Oh, that
icicles,
was
the blood
yeah.
sickles.
Boo.
Yeah.
I wonder why the thing didn't eat him. Or not eat. I guess eat is the wrong word. Digest?
Maybe he was dead first. Maybe he
Oh,
killed himself preemptively.
okay.
Because
That
that would make sense.
that
I
does.
can't take over a non-living organism.
Right. Correct.
I need a host.
Right. And that's what exactly what it was. It always needed a host that was, oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes all kind of sense.
Yeah.
Not that I made myself sound stupid.
Oh, not at all. Th- this movie lends itself to a little bit of ambiguity.
Huh?
You know, the way it ends, the just, that
Oh,
are you? Am I? You
right.
definitely aren't. That means that I'm not. But are are, are we?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like the end.
I love the
You
ending.
you know me, I like endings. This was not an ending. It was, I don't know.
This was like a waypoint.
Yeah. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to freeze to death.
Well, one of them's gonna freeze to
Well,
death.
correct. And the other one is going to go into hibernation like it had been before the Norwegians dug it up.
Right.
So, ooh, that was, yeah.
But was it Mac or was it Childs? And does the and now I know that I told you to pay real close attention and it I know that like theories on the internet and Justin even said he's just like watch the fog around McCready's mouth and watch the fog around Childs. Now it came and went on Childs.
Oh,
Did you notice that?
I did not.
Yes. Like it was there when he first walked up to McCready at the very end. There was
Uh-huh.
the fog out of his mouth. And then when he was talking and you could see the icicles in his little mustache,
Mm-hmm.
there was no breath fog.
Mm.
And then like the very last line he says, there's breath fog. So was that just a mist, like a
Mm.
was that a MacGuffin? Or was that
Well,
just you know, a mist a missed trick of the editing? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Was he the thing? I don't know.
Nope, we don't know.
But
He
I have heard that like hypothermia, if you have to die abnormally, like not in your sleep, like hypothermia is one of the best ways to go because it's really peaceful
right. It just slows your heart down.
and you just kind of fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, doesn't sound exciting to me.
Well, well, I mean, I would prefer my heart to keep beating regularly, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anyways, getting back on track, the cast, all-star cast,
Yes.
Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley,
Mhm,
Keith David,
mhm.
Richard Masur, T.K. Carter, David Clennon, Richard Dysart, Charles Hallahan, Peter Maloney, Donald Moffat, Joel Hollis, and Thomas G. Waits are the main characters.
Yep. All seasoned actors.
Yeah, and this is a two in a row for Keith David for us.
Yes.
Keith David double shot.
Okay. He is a good-looking man,
He
so
is, and he's still a good-looking man. He was on the last season of Community, which by far was not the best season of Community,
yeah.
but he was just a little character that was in their crazy group. And, as a 60-year-old man, he looked great. He had some salt and pepper in his hair, but you couldn't tell by his face that he was a 60-year-old man.
Okay. Well, no.
And we looked it up. T.K. Carter and Keith David are the same age. They were born the same year. And it's crazy to me that T.K. Carter just looked so much younger. He had that baby face next to Keith David's man face.
Yes. Yes. But, people are like that. They have those
It's
faces.
not fair.
No. And why do men always age so much better than women? Because they're both the same age as me, and I look like a man too.
Yeah, I'm aging like a banana.
Getting all the brown spots on you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna be black mush in a minute.
I know. Well, get in line behind me. I guess you come by it honestly.
Yeah, Kurt Russell is a 75-year-old man. He looks fabulous,
He still does look pretty
and
good.
he still does great movies.
Okay, I agree with you then.
Okay.
'Cause he was sure pretty in this
Oh
movie.
my God, he's hot in this movie.
That hair? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, don't you want to run your fingers through it?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Do you wanna go into your stuff, or do you want me to do a little bit of trivia?
We can do some trivia because, like I said, I have nothing about the movie.
Okay.
Nothing at all. The only thing I have about the movie is the stuff I have about uh Chariots of the Gods.
Okay.
So, you know, that's the only thing I have that's related to the movie.
Okay, this movie was based on a 1938 novella called Who Goes There by John W. Campbell using the pseudonym Don A. Stewart.
Oh,
And it's an adaptation of a 1951 film called The Thing from Another World. And the joke is from The Thing from Another World is that they're just opening doors, and it sounds like when you're cracking open a can of soda, that
yeah.
sound.
Mhm.
Like they're opening doors like that. And that's just they're constantly going through doors.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, that's not the right question, is it?
I don't know. You got to do something to be dramatic, I guess. And opening and closing a door is pretty dramatic, I
Mhm.
guess.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah.
There was a prequel done in 2011.
Mhm.
I believe it was also called The Thing, and I have heard very good things about it.
As have I.
Um, but I've never seen it, so I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it one day.
Absolutely. If we ever do prequels, we'll do that.
Okay,
We'll do it for this.
sure.
I don't know. Do you think we can do anything from 2011? It's pretty young.
I mean, they're making cult movies every day, so why no? Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Look at the sharks over there circling.
Oh, why? Oh.
Sister left her food unattended. I don't know if she didn't like it or if she was just upset because Grandma's here walking around,
Oh.
but the vultures have swooped in to eat her food.
Yep. And Jelly Bean got there first.
Jelly usually gets really late to the party, so good for
Oh.
him.
Well, he's first today.
Yeah. And I'm sorry you're sitting in the dark. Those lights have just been going in on and off.
It's all right. I can still see my notes. When little Tallulah is up on the top looking.
Yeah.
Just
Jelly was up there this morning. I tried to give him cookies before I left, and he was up there, and I was like, "Jelly, cookies," and he wouldn't acknowledge me because there were three birds on the
oh. You
on
you
the windowsill
you were
outside.
way down the list.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I
Um.
get that. All right. Well, what I got? What I got? I got
Sure.
there's lots of research stations on uh, Antarctica.
Okay.
U.S. has 3 stations. McMurdo, they were calling to McMurdo. That's like the main one, I guess,
Okay.
because whenever you hear anything about anything, it's from McMurdo. Um, Amundsen, Is that
Okay.
what we decided? A Munson Scott, South Pole Station, and Palmer Station.
Okay.
Those are the 3 US stations. There are more than 70 permanent stations on the continent.
That's the continent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, in addition to the US stations, there are 70 permanent stations,
Holy
which that
cats.
just blows my mind. That's a lot.
Yeah, but you got to think, on this continent, how many little permanent places are there on this? There's a million houses in this town.
Right,
Then
right,
think about that.
right. And they're from 29 countries.
Okay.
Most of them, well, all of them are research stations. There are other stations there that have in the past been abandoned
Okay.
or, only used in the summer. The touristy people go there apparently
Oh my God.
and visit.
Why?
I, w- you, I, I don't know because the average temperature there is minus 10 degrees Celsius.
10 degrees Celsius.
And I tried to figure it out in my tiny little brain, and I think zero zero Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. So what would minus 10 from 32? I couldn't figure it out, so I quit thinking about it. But the only thing I knew it was cold.
Minus 10 degrees Celsius is 14 degrees Fahrenheit,
Holy cow.
which
That
we dealt with
we
in the
dealt with
last
that
week.
this week, yes. And
That was a nice day.
yeah, that, and that's an average,
Oof.
over time. Um, they have wind all the time up to 70 miles an hour. I read that somewhere.
Yeah. Ugh.
Let's see, it's thought that Polynesians landed there in 600s. So they were the first people there. American John Davis claimed to be the first American there in 1821.
Okay.
11 children have been born on Antarctica.
Wow.
I was surprised at that.
Now, how do they record that? Are they like do they do that like military base births?
Oh, golly. I didn't look into that, but I would think so because those are it would be a US station or a Finland station or, Sweden or Russia.
Okay.
I would think that that's how
They
it
would
would be.
consider just like every other military base birth.
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
Since the treaty in 1961, there is no military action on the continent.
Oh,
Everyone has agreed to that. That's why it's all strictly um,
research.
research.
Oh,
And the Air Force, of course, does I think the Air Force runs McMurdo because that's where all of the um, supply stuff comes in and out from.
okay.
And I've only heard that. It didn't really say anything about that. Um, but if you hear somebody flying a supply mission, it's from McMurdo.
Okay.
So, you know, um, in 1950, from 1955 to 1958, there was an expedition that crossed the continent overland,
Ooh, okay.
which I can't even imagine how those people managed it, with those winds and, you know,
Ooh.
minus 60 degrees Celsius and,
Ugh.
oof, you know, crazy. The weather conditions mandate special flight equipment and training
I would
to
imagine so.
fly around there.
Imagine I mean, just the wind in this movie.
Right.
Could you imagine trying to put a helicopter up in that wind?
No, no. And then, there's big supply planes flying
Oh,
around there too. And, you know, well, you'd have to have specialized survival everything on there on board if, just in case. So
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
When I was reading that kind of stuff, I thought, oh my gosh. Let's see. In 2023, scientists found that the hills and valleys under the ice were carved by ancient rivers over millions of years.
Okay.
So that's how some of the underneath stuff gets. We hear a lot about UFOs living under there. They living in the caverns underneath the ice. Well, there's a reason there's caverns under the ice.
I'm sure at some point
It,
in its lifespan that was tropical.
probably because didn't I see recently on something that there was a map from ancient times that depicted Iceland without ice or Antarctica without ice?
I'll cut that out.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But the warming waters
Yeah.
are melting the ice at an astonishing rate.
Yeah.
So,
But global warming is a myth.
that is true. That is true.
We can't talk about it because
Nope.
it's a myth.
No. They do have tourism there.
Which is crazy to me. I don't like being cold. What do these people like have more money than sense
Yes, because it costs between $5,000 and $15,000 to get to there.
per person?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes. Yes. That's what I thought. Okay, first off, it's cold in Ohio, and I don't have to pay to get here.
Uh,
And, you know, and that's another thing. We're in the anniversary of the blizzard of 78.
yeah.
So a lot of people will remember that. And during that blizzard, we got 13.5 inches of snow in one day.
Holy cow.
It started as rain in the morning, drive time,
Uh-huh.
what we would know as drive time now. And by 6 o'clock in the evening, the temperature had dropped 30 degrees
Holy shit.
and it was full on snow, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Crazy. Turnpike was closed from end to end in Ohio. The turnpike was
I
closed.
thought the toll road is always open. Gotta make that money.
They were closed for 3 days.
Holy shit.
75 was closed for 3 days from Toledo to down below Findlay.
Well, down below, that's only an hour away. That's not that much of that's only about 65 miles.
I don't know. I don't remember the highway was closed that long. I remember a lot of it. 475 was closed for 6 days.
Oh,
But that's because that's all down in a deep hole.
that's in a valley. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to dig out, and 51 people lost their lives,
Jesus.
millions in damages.
Ugh.
The governor was James Rhodes at the time. He had asked Jimmy Carter to designate this area as a disaster area, but Carter refused and only designated it an emergency.
Okay.
So Rhodes went ahead and dis- called it a disaster area, called out the National Guard,
Oh God.
and because people were in their homes without electricity or water,
Yeah.
or heat. If you don't have electricity, most people don't have heat. So, and that's how, I don't know, like 13, 14 people died in their homes without heat.
Oh my God.
We lived over behind the Franklin Park Mall where Dave and Buster's is.
Uh-huh.
We lived in those apartments. And when we opened our patio doors, we had a beautiful snow field out ahead of us, and we were on the second floor. It was snow up to our balcony.
Oh my God.
The people that were under us could only see snow.
Could you even imagine?
The fire department did in the end have to come and open the doors because they had all frozen shut in our
Jesus.
building. And I have pictures of me standing beside a lump of snow that was my car.
Oh,
I'm standing there with my hand on this lump of snow, and it is my car under a snowdrift.
oh my God.
So yeah, it was pretty rough. So I mean, this is this is the perfect day for that we've had the perfect week for the lead up to the blizzard of 78.
Yeah.
Did read something further down on the page that said today that would be known as a bomb cyclone. We've all heard of bomb
We've had
cyclones.
bomb cyclones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that would have been considered in that day. So yeah, perfect time for the movie with what's it, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 70-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
winds,
And below freezing, ice.
ice up the Yahoo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was, yeah, that was rough. And this last week was rough. Although, back in 78, everything closed down. People didn't drive four-wheel drives like they do today.
Oh yeah.
Everybody and their brother doesn't have a four-wheel drive. We all drove cars. We had
Yeah.
cars.
It's just a car.
Even our little pickup trucks were car trucks. Um, so everything was closed down for at least 3 days.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so craziness, craziness. All right, back to winter conditions.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, Eric Von Daniken and Chariots of the Gods.
Yeah, that guy,
That,
he was talking aliens are falling, they're falling from the sky all over the place.
yes. And that you know that my favorite TV show is Ancient Aliens, and that my favorite TV guy is Giorgio Tsoukalos. So what can I say? I believe it all.
Just as long as you can reconcile in your mind that the browner the people get, the more alien intervention there is, according to the alien ancient astronaut theory,
Yes, yes.
which is also known as racism.
Well, that is true. That although I fit into that alien species, I have hazel eyes. That's one of the things that a lot of people that have been abducted and have these babies, these star children,
Really?
hazel eyes is the thing.
My ex-husband had hazel eyes. They were the green hazel. My best friend Sarah, hi Sarah, her eyes are the brown hazel.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
RH factor, the RH negative is thought to be those people are thought to be real close to ancient aliens.
Really?
Yep, and a lot of those people are from the Middle East. That is very popular there. So, you know, Eric Van Daniken was the first one to write about it. Well, kinda, that's what he says.
And his book is called Chariots of the Gods.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah.
He did really write that book in 1964. He's written many others after that. Um, Ancient astronaut theory is kind of what the whole basis of that is. Not that he doesn't believe in God, because he grew up in the Jesuit schools, Catholic schools. Went there all until he was a teenager. Um, but a lot of what he says is in addition to,
Yeah.
and if you're a fan of Ancient Aliens, they've showed pictures of stained glass windows where there appears to be um, a spaceship or something, a saucer,
A UFO.
a UFO in pictures. So that's an interesting thing.
Um, when did the Navy release that unidentified flying objects are
Oh,
real phenomena that
oh,
they do
those re
see?
those most current pictures that we have seen,
Yeah, what was that?
most of that was
20.
from 2012.
Okay.
It was an NBC News program that that seemed to no, that wouldn't have been 2012.
I
This was
feel like it
just
was a lot more recent than that.
yeah, that they released that report.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have anything on that report? I don't. I just have about military sightings. Let's see. Most of this stuff I have here is about sightings over Antarctica.
Okay.
But yeah, that one and that footage that they produced out of those planes, those jets and things,
Mhm.
they've all been proven that they are true.
They're not doctored photos.
They're not any kind of doctored photos. That does seem like it was just recently, doesn't
The
it?
last 2 or 3 years,
Yes. Yes.
there was a meme about that, where Doctor Evil says, you know, do this, and then Frau Farbissina, his right-hand man, would scream, bring in this, bring in that to appease Doctor Evil.
Yeah.
And, it said it's got Doctor Evil, and he's just like, "Well, they glossed over aliens in whatever, in 2000 whatever." And so Frau Farbissina is screaming, "Release Who Killed Tupac."
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my goodness.
It's very funny to me.
You know, there are there's lots of TV shows talk about aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Um the first the first UFO project that the government had was Project Blue Book in 1968. Not really, because they had the Majestic 12 in 1947 by that President Truman put together to investigate possible alien spaceships.
Okay.
So, what do you know? The government maybe is keeping us ignorant about stuff.
Well, I don't know. I think some stuff is for our own good.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're already crazy enough. Why do we really need to have spaceships and stuff?
do we need full transparency?
Right,
No.
right,
Because we already don't know what to do with the information we're given now.
right. Boy, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of private platforms that have been together to collect alien sightings. MUFONT is still a popular thing. There's
SETI.
SETI.
We had, when I was with my ex-husband, his dad had put SETI on all the computers that were in the family, his computer, brother's computer, our computers.
Just in case.
Yeah, just to,
Imagine Lab. I don't know exactly what that was, but
yeah.
we've lived with the knowledge that people are coming and going through alien abductions since Betty and Barney in 19 when were they abducted in the 60s, and then they talked about it.
Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill.
Yep. So, um, is it true or isn't it true?
Uh, Fun fact,
Yeah,
interracial couple
they were.
at a time when that wasn't a thing.
That was not a thing. That was not.
Yeah.
But they went through all sorts of testing. They were um, examined individually so that they couldn't feed off of each other. They went through hypnosis, um, and no one could find that there was
Deceit.
deceit in anything that either one of them said.
Huh.
So, think about it.
I don't know though. I think you can train your I think you can train your body. I think you can train your mind to elicit some response, no response. I think that you I think that people can have that ability.
What to have this sight, this
No,
forethought?
to be able to pass a test like that. How many people do you know
Oh,
that are just bald-faced liars?
oh
And you
yeah.
know that they are, but they
Well,
they could pass
it's because
a test.
they believe their own lies.
Yeah,
And that's what it is, the conviction that you're right and everybody else is wrong.
and I think a lot of people are capable of that. So I
Yeah,
don't know if that's a definitive test. Because I think you can mentally train for a barrage of testing like that.
okay, how about hypnosis?
That's if you believe whether or not hypnosis is real. I have been hypnotized and I'm still skeptical
Okay,
about, the underlying effects of hypnosis.
all right. I personally use self-hypnosis to manage my pain,
Okay.
and so I am a believer in it, but it's my own mind controlling things.
Right.
It's me controlling my mind to control my pain.
Right.
So, it
Which your pain is probably controlled by your mind too.
so is it true?
I don't know.
Am am I in pain or am I not in pain?
Well, I don't know.
Well, plenty of doctors says I'm crazy, so, it's all in your mind.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you for that.
Yep.
Here's your $1,000. Go away from me.
Yes, is that rash on my forehead
Yeah, yeah. Same rash I have. Yeah,
that everybody can see.
right, right. Everybody but you because you're too busy looking at your computer and your tests.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, move on. How did we get
We
there?
always have to go back to being an anomaly.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes.
But I think that that really just ties into this whole movie because they do those blood tests, that unofficial blood testing to see who is the anomaly.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was, but I wouldn't be letting anybody cut my finger.
No.
No.
If you're gonna cut anything, like cut the top of my hand.
Yeah.
Make it a
No.
straight, not a curved cut on
Ooh,
my thumb.
that was about the worst part of the movie.
But that was at least an inch and a half long.
Oh yeah.
You don't need that kind of cut for that kind of
No.
testing.
No. 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 Absolutely not.
And then, do you think, now that we're talking about it, now that I'm really, really thinking about it, don't you think that they could have used any bodily fluid
Yes. So they could have peed in a cup and got the same result, maybe?
or saliva?
No, I don't think so. I don't because
The host has to change your
bl-
DNA.
blood blood is alive. I don't know so much that any other bodily fluid is alive in us. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying, but
I feel like it makes sense though.
yes, I do. I feel like it makes sense that they used the blood, yes.
Okay.
But I think they could have got it in a much easier
Oh my
manner.
god.
I would think that everybody that goes to something like that would have basic medical skills.
Well, you could see that some of them did.
Yeah, and be able to like draw blood or at the very
They make
least.
syringes. Why couldn't they just do that?
Well, I mean, you just don't stick the syringe in anywhere and draw blood, but I don't know. I thought maybe let's face it, the
But if
cutting was much more dramatic
Well,
than anybody drawing pint of blood.
absolutely. But I mean, but if somebody had some medical skill, you'd think that phlebotomy is like a basic medical skill
Right.
that somebody in that room would have had.
I'm thinking that, or maybe one of the people that was tied up was could have been the phlebotomist. I don't know.
Okay.
You know, maybe the guy that got shot between the eyes, maybe he would have been able to do it.
I think he was just there to wrangle the dogs.
I think so, and I think that's why they probably thought he was one of the things, because I don't think he was,
No,
but I think that that's probably why they thought he was, because he was with the dogs all that time.
right. And that dog did seem to gravitate towards him.
Yes.
But speaking of that test, as soon as they figured out that Palmer was a thing, you would think that every one of the Palmer, because Palmer like explodes and he eats windows, like you would think that those last remaining petri dishes would have been contaminated.
Oh, yeah.
You
Sure.
know, with all that blood,
Blood and spewing everywhere.
blood and
Slime.
yeah, slime.
Yeah. Huh.
I
And
mean, you would
we're
think.
we're not supposed to think like that.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed to think everything's all good and good.
Um, this is I already mentioned this is a Justin favorite. Uh, I have bought him a couple different thing related gifts in our time together, and one of them because Justin has an affinity for VHS too. It's a lighted up VHS cassette that has the thing label and it's got blue lights in the in the window where you're supposed to see the tape.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's the thing.
Yeah.
I also have one for Clue.
Oh, cool.
But
I do remember that.
you can buy like those Petri slides.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can buy like, you know, commemorative like Petri dishes with everybody's names on it. I
Ooh,
mean, it looks cool as hell.
does it have blood in it?
Well, I
That'd be
mean,
even
it's
cooler.
supposed to.
That'd be even cooler.
It's got red goo in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that would be cool. I liked the movie. I had my hands in front of my face, but I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah. It was a slow enough burn to to be worth it.
Yes. I wouldn't want to see it again. No, that's not this isn't one on my list of I'd like to revisit it. Absolutely not.
I think the only reason for you to revisit it would be for you to rewatch to see if you missed anything.
Yes. Oh, and I know I missed stuff because
Yeah.
there was a couple of things I didn't see that coming,
Yeah.
you know,
When
and
Wilford
yes.
Brimley reappears at the end, you were like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, I never saw that coming. I knew he was missing,
Mhm.
but I didn't see it as a no, you're right.
That would be the only reason for you to
Right.
watch it
No,
again.
I'd have my hands over my eyes again. I'd still miss it.
Yeah. And since we do a theme meal with our movies, we didn't really have much to work with in this one.
Right.
You know, Knowles was obviously the base cook.
Uh-huh.
He wanted his kitchen germ free.
Right.
Um, and you really only see like Wilford Brimley eating out of a can once, and they one of the characters does make mention that if we're all suspects, we should all be making our own food and we should all be eating out of cans.
No organisms. He was talking about organisms floating
Yeah,
around. Yeah.
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 So since we didn't really have a lot to go on, and we've done beef stew to death, so we couldn't do canned beef stew. We had what we like to call camp dinners,
Mm.
which is just vegetables and meat, cooked together. We used to do it in our own individual packet. You put what you want in there and you season it the way you want it seasoned, and then we threw it in the grill for a while and it came out delicious.
Yeah.
But now, since I make it for more than just, me, I put it in a 9 by 13.
which is exactly the same.
Yeah, and just
You
cook a
know,
big batch.
we got that from Girl Scout camp.
Yeah.
You'd make your own meal and put it in the fire, and then you'd get it out and you'd eat. That's how it came about. And then we would make the foil packs and put them in the oven separately. But why do that when you can put it in a 9 by 13 and it tastes just the same?
Yeah.
Yep.
Justin and I used to use when we did them separately before we would use 8-inch cake pans,
Nice.
and it did, the same job.
Absolutely. Why didn't we ever think of that? We've been making those for
I
years
know.
in foil,
Yeah.
folding foil edges and sealing edges and
I think you have to use like that real heavy duty aluminum foil, and who has that on hand?
oh, that's the foil I use. I always have that heavy duty stuff.
Oh, yeah. We just usually have regular
Foil
foil.
foil.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But nothing wrong with a 9 by 13 pan.
Uh,
I thought it tasted
it did taste
delicious.
delicious. The vegetables weren't cooked right, and the meat didn't cook through all the way, but
I thought my meat was fine. It was medium rare. I loved it.
it was a pedestrian effort on my part. I'm sorry. In
I
my defense, I did wake up wide awake at 1:30 this morning.
oh my good Jesus
So I
Christ.
have been alive and
Oh,
a human being since 1:30 this morning. It is now 4:37
right.
p.m.
And this is a midnight movie. We probably didn't mention that
Nope,
yet.
it
This
is a
is
midnight movie.
a midnight movie. So yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
Sleeping's been tough around here.
yeah,
Sleeping's been tough at my house too.
which is crazy because I take a lot of
Sleeping medication.
knockout pills. I woke up yesterday. I cooked dinner and it didn't sit right with me. So I went to bed at like 3:30
Oh,
yesterday. I was just first of all, I was tired and my tummy hurt and I was like, I am gonna go sleep through whatever this is going to turn into. I'm gonna try and outrun food poisoning.
yes.
I don't know what the fuck I did.
Poisoned yourself.
Oh, Justin seemed fine though.
Okay.
Um, but I woke up wide awake at 5:23 p.m.
Oh,
and I looked at my phone. It said 5:23. I could hear Justin moving around the house, knocking shit over, moving, just moving, step, 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 knocking shit over. And I could see outside my window that it was lighter. It wasn't dark, dark, but it wasn't full. It sun hadn't fully gone down yet.
yeah.
So like I don't know where in my brain I thought that that was 5:30 in the morning,
Right.
but I was just like, God damn it, Justin, what are you doing? You got to get to work. And he's just sitting on the couch eating his dinner like,
Going, what?
what are you talking about? I'm like, it's 5:30 and
Why aren't you at work?
he's just like, yeah, I know, that's why I'm eating dinner.
Dinner? What?
It took me forever to figure out that, oh, he hasn't come to bed yet because he hasn't come to bed yet. That he didn't fall asleep on the couch all night. He just hadn't come to bed yet.
Oh, I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I've called work and said I'm on my way. I don't know what happened. Fell asleep. Um, it's the evening. It's the evening. You don't have to be here. Oh, oh, thank you. At least it was just Justin. It wasn't, some random person at work.
Yeah,
But you're calling, telling them that you're late. Sorry.
because Justin has already taken a sick day this month, and I'm just like, you can't. What are you doing? You can't take any more sick days this month. What is wrong with you? It's only January.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He's just like, I'm trying to eat dinner. Crazy. Can you go away from me now?
Then did it the hit you like, oh,
Like as I was turning to go back to bed, I was just like, oh, that's why it's so light outside because it's
it's not
PM.
it's not nighttime yet even. Yes, now that the sun doesn't go down at 4 o'clock in the evening, we're all confused when it doesn't go down at 5
Right.
or 6.
Yeah.
We're all confused. It's supposed to be dark now. Such
Oh my
things.
god, if it had been full dark, I don't know what I would have done.
You would have jumped up and you would have
I
been
would have.
running around, waving your arms is what you would have been doing.
God. Yeah, he would have been angry at me.
Get to work. Wait for work.
Oh no, I knew that it was the weekend.
Oh,
I knew
okay.
for me, but I know that Justin works on Saturdays. What are you doing? This isn't leisure time. Have a snack. This is get your ass out the door.
Oh my God. Well, he's become used to living with a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then he's become used to having me come over as a crazy person. Bless his heart. I don't know.
I don't know what to
I
do
don't
for
know
him.
why we're so crazy. It just happens.
Now, we didn't talk a lot about John Carpenter this round. We
Nope.
have not barely mentioned him at all because
No.
we've talked about John Carpenter to death.
Yeah.
He is a cult classic guy, and we're probably going to watch more of his movies.
Probably.
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
But um, the little bit of trivia I wrote down about him was that he said that out of all of his films, that this is his personal favorite.
Oh, okay.
And
I I can see why this is a very focused movie.
uh huh,
This is one thing. One thing. It's like his other movies. It's life and this and that.
mm-hmm,
This is all about surviving.
yeah.
So yeah.
We mentioned Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin was only 22 when he started the makeup effects for this movie.
Oh my
And
god.
at one point, he was like basically living in the studio making these effects. And he was hospitalized for exhaustion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's one way to learn your craft.
But Rob Bottin has gone on to do makeup effects in RoboCop and Total Recall, and there were a bunch of other movies that were in his IMDb that I was just like, "Holy shit, I've seen those. I know those movies."
Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I can go back to him.
That's amazing.
The movie
And
Seven with Brad Pitt. He did makeup on Game of Thrones.
oh my gosh.
The Charlie's Angels movie with Drew Barrymore.
Uh-huh.
Fight Club. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The very first Mission Impossible movie. The Witches of Eastwick.
Wow.
Twilight Zone the movie. The Howling. He did work on Airplane.
Oh my gosh.
Another movie, John Carpenter movie, The Fog. Yeah, he's done a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
And to just, be cutting your teeth.
Learning your craft there.
Yeah.
On the job training.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing.
Because Dan Winston did do a little bit of the work, but he really wanted Rob Bottin to have all the credit to help him get ahead. So Stan Winston got a special thanks. You saw it in the
Yes.
credits.
Wow.
So I thought that was really cool because Stan Winston is one of the top names in makeup effects.
Wow. That's amazing. That to see and I, him to sit back now and think what he did then 40 years ago. What a difference.
Right. In the beginning when the Norwegians get to the US station and the Norwegian guy is out of the helicopter and he's yelling, dog is in that guy's arms and he's yelling before he
Yes, he was. Yes,
did they shoot him?
they did shoot him. Yes.
Yeah.
But not until after he shot at the dog in the guy's arms, shot the guy in the leg. and then he went running after the dog and they shot him.
Yeah. Well, what he was yelling at the Americans roughly translates to "Get the hell out of there. That's not a dog. It's some sort of thing. It's imitating a dog. It isn't real. Get away, you idiots."
Well, unfortunately, they did not know Norwegian,
No.
so they did not know that that's what he was saying. So, me bad.
Yeah,
No, the guy shot him from the window inside.
you're right. After he shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This a viewing of this movie has been a tradition of the British Antarctic Research Station. And it's part of their midwinter festival that is held every June 21st.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that'd be the middle of winter there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's cool.
Um, Unused music composed for this film was later used by Ennio Morricone, the guy that did the music,
Uh-huh.
for Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight.
Oh,
Ironically, Morricone, I don't know. His Thing score was nominated for a Razzie for worst film score,
oh,
and he won an Oscar for the Hateful Eight score.
he got a, he was for the same score? He was,
No, well, unused music was used in the Hateful Eight, so yeah, I guess parts of it would be stuff
huh,
that was written for the thing.
amazing.
Kurt Russell was the star of the Hateful Eight.
Really?
Yeah, looks great. Good
As
looking
an,
man.
as an older man?
Looks great.
Okay.
And speaking of there being a score by Ennio Morricone, John Carpenter, this is the first film of his that he didn't do his own score,
Oh,
and his first choice was Jerry Goldsmith, who passed on
because
the
he's worked with
project.
Goldsmith before. I recognize that name.
Yeah, I think that Jerry Goldsmith also did the music for Psycho 2. I I feel like we talked about him in that episode.
Could be.
And
Could be.
the music for Psycho 2 wasn't used in Psycho 2, it was used in Twilight Zone the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that is a familiar name to me.
Um, what else do I got here? The dog that was roaming around the American base was a half wolf, half Malamute named Jed,
Uh-huh.
but Jed was not the dog that was running in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Just the close up. He just did the close up work.
Yeah, they said that Jed was great. He didn't, he looked where he needed to look. He wasn't looking at like the camera riggers and stuff like
Right.
that. So they were like, this is like the best dog actor that's ever lived, ever in the world.
I'm okay with that. He was pretty pretty.
Yeah, beautiful dog.
Yeah.
Um, the female voice on McCready's computer was an uncredited voiceover by John Carpenter's then wife, Adrienne Barbeau.
Nice. We've talked about her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about his glorious hair. Did we mention that it took
Oh,
him a year to grow the hair and the beard?
no, you told me that while the movie was on, while
Yeah.
when I mentioned the hair. But his hair was pretty damn glorious. I'm not a beard person, but I understand why all those people had beards. I think I would want to grow a beard if I lived in that kind of
Oh,
elements.
100%. Though it is one of those things where because it's so close to your nose and your mouth, you think it would be moist a lot
Oh, it would be,
more
yes.
often
That's
than.
why you always see like skiers and cross country men with icicles all around
And you notice
their
that they all
mouths.
had, icicles in their beards. Even Childs with his very slight mustache at the end had icicles in his
Uh-huh.
mustache.
Yes, that happens when wind is cold.
Um,
But yes, it was pretty damn glorious.
yeah. The final confrontation with the thing required the assistance of 50 technicians
Oh my
to
god.
get that floor to wave like that, to get those tentacles just flopping out.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. And we wonder why movies cost so much.
Yeah, because they have to pay 50 people to move one thing.
Wow. That's amazing.
They did save money on the sets, though.
Yeah, that was nothing.
The the shots of the charred Norwegian station were shot after they had destroyed the American station, and
They burnt down their own.
they just used footage of the American station as the Norwegian station.
That's interesting. Well, sure, absolutely. That's the magic of movies.
Yeah. And
Cool.
the film was originally banned in Finland when it was released.
Why?
Probably the violence, the gore, the
Oh,
horror violence.
right. And they, let's face it, they killed all the other people.
Well, and I don't know, and I know that different countries, especially in the 80s, had, vastly differing opinions on what was filth and what was not. Like
Right.
Britain had the video nasties. Like they still have that list
Okay.
of stuff that, they don't want that filth shown over. And usually that's stuff that is highly gory, very bloody, just nasty movies. You know, a movie like Driller Killer. Think about it.
Y-
Of course something like that. Of course something like that would be gross and bloody and violent.
Okay.
Um, what's another video nasty? Oh, Cannibal Holocaust, of course, was a video nasty. Um, because the violence against the animals in that movie, where it was real, but the violence perpetrated upon the people was all make believe. But in that time, in that real time space, people didn't know that Cannibal Holocaust was just a movie.
Oh, okay.
They had they had called it a documentary. They said it was a documentary team. They said that these weren't actors. When the movie was done, the actors had to lay low in order to keep up the myth that
Oh, that they had been cannibalized or something.
yeah, in the Amazon
Okay.
jungle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, movies like that were banned in other countries for those specific reasons. And I can understand that at the time the horror, the fantasy violence in this movie would be shocking.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're looking back at it 40 years ago and I thought it was shocking.
You're right.
So yeah, absolutely.
And the last little bit of trivia that I wrote down, there was so much trivia for this movie that my hand started to hurt and I was just like, I'm done writing.
Okay.
In 1982, Fangoria magazine had a contest where people were asked to draw what they thought the thing would look like
Oh my.
to see if anybody could guess what it would be,
Okay.
and the winner would get a trip to Universal Studios.
All right.
Which I didn't know that was such a, big thing in the 80s. I remember hearing about it in the 90s when it became like a theme park. Like, has it always been like a theme park?
Yeah, it's always been a theme park. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was built for. So yeah. Oh, how cool.
Yeah. What else do you got?
Well, we've got a few deaths that we should recognize
Oh,
this month.
okay.
Melanie Singer,
Yeah.
she wrote the Brand New Key. She
I
sang the Brand New Key.
I've got a brand new pair of roller skates.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
got a brand new key.
right. I knew you'd recognize that name. John Charles Osgood. That's a name that I
Yes.
recognize.
Saw that I trade news in the morning
Oh,
with my
yes, you
friend,
do. Yes, you do. Newsman John Osgood,
Charles Osgood.
Charles Osgood.
And I was like, "Oh, this guy died." And I remember watching him on the news because my mom always had news on. I remember the CBS morning news people, Paul
Yeah,
Zahn,
yeah,
the bald guy, Harry Smith.
yes,
Yeah, and Charles Osgood was part of that group. I remember watching them.
yeah.
And it took her a minute and then she saw pictures. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know
Oh, I
that
know
guy."
that guy. Yeah, 'cause he looked the same for as long as I can ever
Yeah, with the bow
remember.
tie.
Mhm. Norman Jewison, filmmaker.
Yeah?
He made, Moonstruck, one of my favorite movies, Rollerball. Um,
You've seen Rollerball?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So I knew you'd recognize that name. There were many, many others. Glynis John, mother from
Yes.
Mary Poppins.
Yes. Old as hell.
Well, yes. Yes.
Oh, like 100? 101?
Some something like that.
Something outrageous like that. But, I people my age might remember her most, not from Mary Poppins, but from Superstar, the Mary Catherine Gallagher movie,
Yes. Okay.
where
Yes.
she plays Mary Catherine Gallagher's grandmother.
Okay.
And there's a part in that movie, and it's the only F word in the movie because it's a PG-13 movie. And she's teaching these kids how to do this dance routine. And she says, "When I do this, you do this. Or when I say this, you do this. When I say this, you do this. When I say boogity boogity, you boogity boogity." And someone's like, "Well, what does that mean?" She's like, "You better fucking figure it out."
Oh my goodness. Oh
And
my
I,
goodness.
first of all, to see an old person say that is hilarious.
Right.
And to see the mom from Mary Poppins say that, even funnier.
Yes. 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 Oh my good heavens. That's funny. Oh my. Well, there were a lot more than that, but those were the ones that I figured you would recognize
Yeah.
and you know, make comment on. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's a lot. It's been a rough couple of years. Lots of famous people have passed.
Yeah. But again, as Justin says, we're at the age where all the people that we grew up with are going to die. And they're
Yeah,
starting to die.
yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. The older you get, the closer you are to death.
Yeah.
So, yikes. Not a good thing. What?
I'm just looking
You
at him.
look like you just owned my one of the kittens just came up and sat on the arm of my chair and it was Jelly Bean, and he usually doesn't sit by me.
Yeah.
He usually sits by mommy.
Yeah. Mommy's got Laundry Mountain over here.
It's all right. He doesn't mind Laundry Mountain,
No.
and he's letting me stroke his back. So I think that's pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. He's a good boy.
He is. They all are.
Yeah.
But he usually doesn't come and sit beside me, so it's fun.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen our Ashmo. He's been
He is.
he is
He's over here next to Laundry
oh,
Mountain.
he's on the other side of mom,
Yeah.
taking a snoozer.
Well, Justin brought laundry out to the couch this morning while he was running around getting ready for work, and I got up and I folded it, and I have two piles. I have a me pile and I have a Justin pile.
Yep.
And I got up later in the morning to do something, and I came back out into the living room, and Ashmo was laying on the Justin pile, and I was just like, so I sent a picture to Justin. I said, "This is your son."
Who knocked down the folded laundry.
No, he didn't knock it down. He just
Oh,
laid on top of it.
nice. So you
He's
didn't have to refold it all?
No,
That's
but
nice.
I will have to rewash the sweatpants on top
Well, yeah. Yeah.
because you can see that the piles aren't very tall.
Mm-mm.
They're just two of them.
Just the right size for a kitten.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Reginald Manchego is not interested in the laundry. He's still on his last nerve.
Oh dear.
So
Lily's on her last nerve too.
I know. I think it must be the weather.
It has to be. 'Cause she's been running around and hissing just at nothing. She's fighting with the boys.
Oh, yeah, she's usually not on the top spot. Usually Mr. Bean is on the top spot.
Yeah, but if she goes up there, she likes to sit in that spot.
Oh, okay.
And if you put cookies in there with her, she'll eat the cookies. But if you
Oh,
put cookies on the floor while the boys are on the floor, she won't eat the cookies
no,
because she knows the boys will nose her out of the way.
no, she did not eat her cookies today. I
She
finally
didn't eat
gave them
dinner
to the
either.
boys.
I'm gonna have to feed her when you leave.
Yeah, try something different.
Yeah, maybe she just didn't like that flavor.
Yeah, could be.
Or she's a turkey.
Maybe she's not hungry, but you know, she's too little to be not hungry.
Right.
She's gotta, although she is starting to fill out a bit,
Yeah.
but not much.
No, I think she's going to be petite.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always. Unlike your big bone little man here. That's all right. He was always a big boy with those big legs.
Yeah. So you turned me on to Roku Live TV.
Oh, good.
I found a Universal Monsters
Yes.
channel that shows all sorts of like 50s and 60s horror.
Oh,
I've watched a few Hammer films.
oh boy.
I've watched a William Castle movie that I've never even heard of that I didn't see the end of it, so now I'm trying to catch it and it's on at weird times.
Yeah, they are on at weird times. There is like a menu thing, but it's hard to read and I don't really know how to get to the menu.
You push the left arrow button.
Okay. I just have sometimes arrived at it,
Oh.
you know. So still learning. I'm still
Yeah, push
learning.
the left arrow button.
Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there that you might
I
like.
found a Mystery Science channel and I watched Puma Man last night. That was pretty sweet.
I thought you watched Mystery Science Channel.
There's a Mystery Science app and there's a Mystery Science channel on Pluto,
Oh,
but there's also a Mystery Science channel on Roku Live.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was pretty sweet.
I watch a lot of BBC stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So I like that. And most of it's old.
Yeah.
Most of it's from the early 2000s. That's okay. I don't mind. I watch TV to be mindless
Yeah,
or it's just on.
but some of these Hammer movies I've never seen before, so it's a treat for
Oh
me.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like I never really got into like the werewolf movies and um like the non like Dracula movies, the
Uh-huh.
non Frankenstein movies.
When I got up this morning, Dracula was on.
Oh, cool. The original, the black and white?
Oh, I don't know. I did not turn it on. I just, it says what's on underneath it when you go past it.
Mhm.
And I saw that Dracula was on. So who knows what it was.
I
But
watched
yay.
Bride of Frankenstein last night. I watched Creature from the Black Lagoon the other day.
Gosh, well, I'm glad I found something new. I found something new for
Yeah,
you.
it's pretty sweet. I was pretty excited. I've watched some real stinkers and I've watched some really cool movies.
Well, isn't that what it's all about?
And there was one movie where Justin recognized the guy. He's just like Oliver Reed. He's just like, is he like a prolific drunk? And I was just like, well, I don't know. He's a hammer guy. I know that. And, he's a good looking guy. I can tell you that much. But you looked him up. Yeah. Like the first picture you saw was a picture of him and Keith Moon standing next to each other. And I was just like, oh, okay.
All
You're
right.
hanging out with Keith Moon. You party. You party hard.
It's clear now. My goodness. Oh, that's funny. Yay then. I'm
Yeah.
excited. My endless TV watching has finally paid off for something.
Yeah, I was stoked.
Yeah, let's have to start watching something that's newer.
Eh,
In the 2010s maybe.
you watch your Ancient Aliens.
I do. And now Hulu has 20 seasons of it on for, they didn't I would watch some on one and some on the other.
Oh yeah,
And now Hulu has 20 seasons.
nice. I'm gonna have to get back into it.
I I
That's stuff I like to have on in the background, but it drives Justin bananas. So I don't have it on a lot.
you know what? You can have anything on in the background. I've been watching a lot of the cake
Great British Bake
Great
Off.
British Bake Off. But every once in a while I see a person on there that you've done this before. You see a person and you just don't like them.
Oh yeah.
And lately, every one of them that they have showed is with somebody that I just don't like. I don't like that lady. I don't like that guy. I, I'm not even in the same country they're in, but I don't like them.
Yeah. Hey, that's fair.
I've been watching a lot of the old celebrity bake offs, so they're fun to watch. They have all kind of weird people, and it's amazing that those people can bake.
Yeah.
I don't, but think about it. Those people all have families. You know, how do those families eat? Somebody's got to bake or cook or something.
I don't know. I just assume that like rich people don't do anything for themselves.
Yeah, the other day Terry Hatcher was on the
Oh,
the
okay.
celebrity British baking show.
Sure.
She won. She made all kind of stuff. I thought, wow, that's interesting.
Well, maybe she's just one of those homey people.
Who knows? Maybe her forte is baking.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like to watch those. They're mindless. But yeah, my Ancient Aliens, that's my favorite.
Now we've come to that time in our show again where we should be talking about a next movie, but these last few movies have just been so hard fought to come to
They
it that
have
it's
been.
just
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't talked about anything else.
No, you'll know when we know.
Yeah,
I
posted on Facebook.
like that theory. Yeah, we haven't been
And I
doing it.
remembered this time to put a note on Facebook what we were watching, put the trailer on, like well in advance.
Did you?
I did. I
Okay.
think I put it up like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah.
You must have because Val knew that we were watching this.
Yeah.
So it must have been up in plenty of time
Mhm.
that somebody saw that we were watching this.
Yeah.
And they were excited.
Oh, Valerie was so excited.
Yes. It was when she was talking about it, I thought, "Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?"
It definitely was a body horror movie, that body horror that
Yep, yep, yep. But you had to think about it the entire time you were watching it. If you weren't paying attention,
yeah.
you couldn't keep up with it.
Mhm. Even though it was a little slow at times, you
Right.
still had to keep an eye on everybody to make
Right.
sure everybody was everybody.
Correct. Correct. Interesting. Well, I wasn't as appalled as I thought I would be, but it was pretty rough.
It was rough.
I had my eyes covered a lot.
Yeah, and the half morphed corpses,
Yeah. Oh,
so crazy.
those were rough.
Yeah.
Those were rough. But it was as I expected. It was what I expected.
And I picked this movie based on, the shitty weather we've been having here in town, and I didn't look to see if it was streaming anywhere. Um And I thought about that at about 9 o'clock this morning. And I was just like, holy shit. I might have to buy this on goddamn Amazon.
Fortunately, though, you looked in the right pile and there it was.
Oh,
Other
because it says it's on AMC Plus. And we all know that AMC Plus shows edited for television movies.
Oh, yes. We watched a movie on there.
Yeah, Con Air.
Yes. And we're shocked.
Yeah. So I would never watch another. I will never get AMC Plus to watch another
No.
movie from there ever again.
Oh, man, how could they have cut this up? It would have been about 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh, well, I enjoyed
Well,
it.
I don't know. I think they would have left a lot of the horror element in just because it was, it's so 80s.
Very.
It the makeup effects are so dated for now, but for the time period they were
Yeah.
creme de la creme.
I,
Like this was hot shit
yeah,
makeup artist.
I was impressed. Well, whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to see if that you can hear that in the microphones.
That little beeping?
Cats have a toy that is like a whack-a-mole, and boy, it's loud. Look at her, she's
I,
meerkatting. She's meerkatting.
oh, yeah. I can, I can hear it in the part of my ear that's not covered. I can't hear it in the headphones.
I guess that's what's throwing me off is because I'm hearing everything today.
You're not hearing or you're hearing?
I'm
One or the other.
right.
Right. Right. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
That's the thing in the background coming for you.
It's coming for me. It's that head click clacking around the room.
Yep. Oh, yes. That was weird.
Yeah, it was really gross.
Such things. Oh,
Yeah.
well. Well,
Yeah. I think we've said enough about the thing.
yeah,
All in all, a good watch.
absolutely. Look,
Meal, subpar, but all right.
filled my belly.
It wasn't good though. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, me too. But it was tasted real good. Tasted good.
Yeah, tasted good.
Yeah. Hey, you can't be on 100% every day, Alexis. And I can't even tell you what to do differently because you did everything correctly.
Yeah.
You know, how could you have made it better? I have absolutely no idea.
Should I have like scored the potatoes?
Oh, they're small. She used the fancy fingerling potatoes.
Yeah.
So we had fancy potatoes, and they still didn't all get cooked. So I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Did you have your temperature up and high enough?
I guess not because I put it at 350 because I didn't want to burn anything. And I didn't want to because I left the onions real thin. I didn't want those to burn.
350 for an hour should have gotten potatoes, carrots, and meat done.
Yeah.
That should have all been done.
Yeah, it wasn't. And it all temped. The potatoes, you poked through
Yep.
the potatoes felt fine. The meat temped right. The It didn't temp right, but it temped good enough.
I had about 3 potatoes and they were okay. And then I had a couple of potatoes that were solid hard.
Ugh.
And then some of the carrots were tender crisp, like I like. I don't like carrots cooked that are mushy.
Yeah.
I like them to bite back a little. And then there were a couple of carrots that were like they weren't even in the oven at all.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know.
I don't know. It tasted delicious.
And even to reheat them, I put it in at the same temperature I cooked them at. Just to heat it up faster. And they still did it. Even double cooking, it didn't get
Right.
all crazy.
Right. And you left a bit I was here for half hour, 45 minutes at least, wasn't I?
Yeah, about a half hour.
So I don't know. What what I ate was delicious, and I'm going to take the rest of it home and reheat it up a little and eat it again.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Sometimes you just don't hit the ace. That's all.
Yeah, I'm sad about it.
Yeah, make another meal. It'll be delicious.
Yeah. That's 2 nights in a row though that like it's just been off.
Oh, maybe don't cook tonight.
Okay. I mean, I already cooked for the day.
Okay, just reheat.
Okay.
And tomorrow when you cook, just look at everything you're cooking. I don't know. I don't know, but I hate it when you cook something, it smells good, it looks good, and then you bite into it and it's like, oh, this didn't taste very good.
Yeah. That's the chicken I made last night. I was just like, "Oh, I put onion and garlic and salt and pepper and Old Bay on it. It should have tasted awesome."
Yeah.
In my tummy, it was just like, "I don't like this."
Oh, yeah. Last night was a bad night for food. I went looking for something to eat
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
Ended up with just a pizza.
No.
And it tasted fine, but it was far from what I wanted.
Yeah.
I did, I only get small ones and I usually eat them like for dinner and then breakfast the next day. I didn't even have a pizza for breakfast this morning.
Oh.
I just wasn't, you know.
Well, I'm kinda off pizza.
Yes, I know you are, and I kind of am too, but nothing was sounding good to me and quick. You can get a pizza in 25 minutes,
Yeah.
and I'll just order a pizza. And it tasted fine. It was fine.
Hmm.
The sauce tasted really good. Toppings, I just get a deluxe, so it's got all veg on it, but it was just not what I wanted. It, w-
Hmm.
but I couldn't have told you what I wanted.
No, and I hate that.
Yeah, that is the worst. The worst.
That's Justin's always like, "Well, you don't ever throw any ideas out." I'm like, "Because I'm not
Because I'm never ever hungry for
I
anything.
don't need anything. I know that I need sustenance, but,
Right.
like, I don't need anything."
Nope. Nope. But when I get in the mood for something, I want that. I want like I was thinking about I should have went and got that spaghetti mac.
Yeah.
That's what I should have went ahead and got. But would that have even satisfied me? I don't know.
Have you ever had the chili mac at Paco's? It's pretty good.
I would think that that would be very much Paco flavor, and I don't know that chili mac and Paco flavor is what I would like.
But they don't serve it on spaghetti. They serve it on the Spätzle.
Oh my. I've never had that.
Oh, it's really good.
Okay.
I mean, they put like a metric ton of cheese on it, though. I can't do that anymore.
Well,
But
just tell them you don't want cheese.
yeah, I mean, it's good with a little bit. You just can't have
Well,
the whole handful.
well, restaurants can't just put a little bit of something on it.
Yeah,
Could I have some cheese on the side?
like when I order pizza because I am lactose intolerant, I always like listen. I want you to put so little cheese on this pizza that you question whether or not it's still pizza.
Right.
Like, I
It's
want you to think that you should be arrested for scamming me on this pizza
right.
because I want so little cheese on it. And I still get, a
A
boatload of
gap.
cheese.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I ordered the deluxe, and they don't put that much cheese on the deluxe because there's so much other stuff on it.
Yeah.
But it had the right amount of cheese, and the crust was delicious as usual. It wasn't what I wanted,
Hmm.
but I can't. Even now, thinking, okay, what are you going to have for dinner tonight? You have your leftovers, but is that going to be enough? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Such things.
Yeah, we always make it hard.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we did good.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And we'll come up with something else. I got Men at Work posted, so
Boy, I'll have to listen to
we'll
that.
have to listen to that.
Yeah.
Go check out our TikTok. It's ridiculous as usual.
Yes, mother, stupid.
And I guess on that note, keep an eye on Facebook and you'll see what our next movie is.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.